Land Rover Lightweight. The lightweight 1/2 ton was a British military vehicle supplied by Land Rover. In the early 1960s, both the Royal Marines, then largely based aboard commando carriers, and the British Army required a vehicle that could be carried by air to replace the Austin Champ. They had taken delivery of the Westland Wessex helicopter, which could carry a 2,500 pounds, 1,134 kilograms, load slung beneath. The smallest Land Rover available at the time was a Series I 88-inch, 2,235 mm, wheelbase, which was too heavy. Land Rover began work on a lightweight version to fit the specifications in 1965. A new modification to the basic Series I was devised by making many body components easily detachable and removing many non-essential items. The result was the Land Rover 1/2 ton, known widely as the lightweight or air portable. In practice, to reduce weight sufficiently for the helicopters of the day to lift them in combat conditions, the tilt, roof, and sticks, the upper parts of the body, the doors and windscreen were removed, to be refitted later. The most significant change, however, was a reduction in width by 4-inch, 100 mm, by redesigning the standard Series I axles and fitting shorter half shafts, which meant it would fit on a standard pallet. Complete, the lightweight I weighed 2,650 pounds, 1,202 kilograms, over the specified weight. The term lightweight appears misleading as a standard 88 Land Rover weighed 1,318 kilograms, 2,906 pounds, but the higher total weight was due to the various frame reinforcement required for military usage. However, with the removable body panels taken off, it was below the limit. Since improvements to the helicopters meant more lift was available, the mod accepted it for use. The main applications were actually to be shipped by cargo aircraft or stacked on train wagons, with helicopter transport a rare occurrence. The first production models were completed on November 11, 1968, and production continued until 1984. Although a very few prototypes had been built between 1965 and 1967, and about 6 pre-production models early in 1968, lightweight Series I quantity production began on November 11, 1968, with a total of 15 vehicles being produced on that day. Total production of Series I lightweights was between 1,500 and 2,000 vehicles. Later Series I models had the headlamps moved out into a revised front wing, to comply with revised lighting regulations. It is easy to confuse later Series I models with the Series 3, though nothing was changed on these vehicles other than the location of the headlamps. The Series I lightweight was replaced by the Series 3 lightweight in 1972, soon after the replacement of the civilian Series I with the Series 3. The vehicle remained in essence the same, with a few relatively minor changes. There are detailed differences to the chassis, and a revised gearbox had synchro mesh on 2nd through 4th gears instead of just 3rd and 4th. In the electrical department, the Series 3 was fitted with an alternator in place of the dynamo of the Series IA. The new indicator switch incorporates a headlamp flasher and horn, and the ignition switch was now fitted in a new steering column cowl instead of on the dashboard. The lightweight did retain the earlier Series I metal dashboard even after the upgrade. Around 1980, in line with civilian models, the engine had 5 main bearings instead of 3. Lightweight production ended in 1984, when the parent Land Rover Series 3 was replaced by the models 90 and 110. A total of 37,897 lightweights, petrols and diesels, were built. Left-hand drive, LHD, models were used by the British Armed Forces in support of their NATO commitments. Many LHD models were used by the Dutch military and were predominantly fitted with diesel engines.